What's up guys, today we are talking about Proprioceptive Neuromuscular Facilitation stretch technique. So PNF stretching, which is Proprioceptive Neuromuscular Facilitation stretching technique, was originally developed for neuromuscular rehabilitation program design for athletes who had increased muscle tone or muscle activity. However, nowadays, this technique has been expanded to the athletes as a method of increased flexibility. So there are three different types of PNF stretches. One is known as hold relax, second one is known as contract relax, and third one is called hold relax with agonist contraction. And there are different type of PNF stretches that can be performed. However, for simplicity's sake, I'm using an example of hamstring stretch. We are talking about proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation stretch technique, and the first technique that we are covering is hold relax. So in hold relax technique, first we perform a 10-second passive stretch followed by a 6-second isometric hold, and then we perform a 30-second passive stretch on athlete. So here we are going to use example for hamstring, and we are going to perform hold relax technique. What we do is we lift up and we perform a passive stretch for 10 seconds for hamstring and hold it at a point of mild discomfort. And after 10 seconds, the athlete will be informed to not move this leg while I try to push it forward. So it's going to isometric contraction. So 10 seconds are up, now I'm going to push and I'm going to tell the athlete to resist my push and let me not push his leg further forward. So I'm trying but cannot push. Now this is 6-second isometric hold, now he's going to relax. And now I'm again going to perform a stretch for 30 seconds. And as you can see, the range has increased. And this is because the activation of hamstring. We perform a 30-second passive stretch at the end. Although I'm not going to show you for 30 seconds. The mechanic that works in this stretch technique is autogenic inhibition, because we are using hamstring, activating hamstring, and then stretching hamstring again. Alright guys, so the second technique under PNF stretching, Proprioceptive Neuromuscular Facilitation stretch technique, is contract relax. Okay? So what happens in this stretch technique is that I perform a passive stretch for 10 seconds. Then the athlete pushes his leg down as we're performing hamstring stretch, and I try to resist. And at the end, once again, a 30-second passive stretch is being performed. So let's go through it. I'll perform a 10-second passive stretch at a point of mild discomfort for his hamstring. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now he's going to push his leg down and I will try to resist it. So I'm just trying to explain to you that he's pushing it down, but I'm not allowing him to come down. Push it harder. So I'm resisting it. So that's contract relax. So he used his hip extensors to bring this down, and now once again a 30-second passive stretch. This stretch should be of greater magnitude because of activation of hamstring once again, and the mechanics that we are using is autogenic inhibition. So the final technique under PNF stretch is known as hold relax with agonist contraction. Now in this, first we perform a passive stretch on athlete for 10 seconds, and then athlete does an isometric hold for 6 seconds, and then at the end, in the last portion of the stretch, the athlete uses muscle opposite to the stretching muscle for finding a greater range of motion, or finding more range or lengthening of the stretched muscle. So this is how it goes. So I'm going to perform a 10-second passive stretch at a point of mild discomfort. So we are stretching, lengthening. We are stretching hamstring. So 10 seconds mild discomfort. Now I'm going to push this way and he's going to resist and not let me move his leg. Starting now. So it's an isometric hold by his hamstring muscles, activating that. And as he relaxes, he's going to flex his hip on purpose to find a greater range of hip flexion, which will allow the opposite muscle, which is hamstring, to lengthen more. So flex his hip, and as you can see already that there is greater range of motion in this stretch, because not only hamstrings are activated and lengthening, but also the hip flexor, which is on the opposite side of the hamstring, allowing him to find a greater magnitude of stretch. In this stretch, the mechanics that we use is autogenic inhibition, because we are using hamstring, so using the stretching muscle, and reciprocal inhibition, which is muscle opposite to the stretched muscle.